Now, back to physics, and this is very popular. These metal detectors can set you back £300 to £1,000, depending on how sophisticated they are. And amateur enthusiasts are absolutely fantastic with this type of simple physical equipment. They've found thousands of objects, many from the Viking age with this. And basically what it is you have an oscillating electrical current which sets up an alternating magnetic field. And then if you've got any metal objects underneath the ground, which you can't see, that magnetic field sets up its own electrical current in the metal, which we call an eddy current, which produces its own magnetic field, which interferes with the original magnetic field and is picked up by the detector, either as a light blip or a sound blip or whatever. So if it's something metal that's underneath the ground to a reasonable depth, then this will pick it up. Now, in the past, it's been quite difficult to police because people have been going out, finding things, and they've been frightened about giving them up in case it's confiscated or the Crown take the right of the material and there's no record. But that's changed now. There's regulations set up in Scotland and England and Wales which protects the enthusiast for a find. And a recent spectacular find was by this man here, Derek McLennan. This is the Galway find, which was made in 2014. I think we still don't know where it was. They've tried to sort of conceal where the site has been to stop everyone coming over there and trying, just in case they wanted to properly assess the ground where it was found to see if anything else was down there which was of value. And McLennan, working with a group of people, initially found a collection of ingots and these arm braces, and they found this wonderful silver cross, this bird. And then underneath the original found, they found this Carolingian silver pot, which is the largest that's been found anywhere, and that contained also valuable treasure. A lot of it was Anglo-Saxon, so possibly the material derived from a monastery or somewhere originally, but nonetheless this is a fantastic find, and these are particularly impressive. These armbands with these runic inscriptions on this cross gives the game away really that it did come from a monastery. And in Scotland we have the treasure trove law, which protects the finder, and that means with this law then the finder is more likely to come forward and reveal his or her treasure to the museums and finds officers there. We have a similar scheme in England and Wales called the PAS, the Portable Antiquity Scheme, and it works brilliantly. I think McLennan stands to make a small fortune, I think £500,000, which was the sort of market value of the finds. I think it's yet to be decided where the treasure is going to be displayed, whether it goes back to Dumfriesshire or whether it goes to the National Museum of Scotland. A recent find in England, not far from where I live in the East Midlands, near a place called Thurkeston. This grey shading corresponds to high densities of Scandinavian place names. This is part of the old Dane law, separated by this dotted line here, which follows approximately Watling Street, the A5. Last year, there was a hoard of coins and other treasure found at Thurkeston, again by a metal detector enthusiast, and that was correctly recorded and everything else. And also this remarkable Thor's amulet was discovered. From my area, Wirral, Tranmere is here somewhere by the way, Wirral is also steeped in Scandinavian place names. This is our Thingwall, and many things have been found here, including this coin, which we all got excited about. Again, a metal detector enthusiast found this, and this is a coin which was attributed to Olaf Guthfrusson, who was the Viking king coming from Dublin, who fought in the Battle of Brunanburh, this huge battle which the Vikings and Scots fought together, not against each other like in Largs, fought together. against the common enemy from Angleland, the English, in 937. And most scholars have placed this battle in Wirral because the old name for Bromborough is Brunanborough. So gosh, this coin was found, and it was passed as genuine by the numismatics experts at the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge, and by which time I'd used this in one of my books on Viking DNA. My colleague David Griffiths, who's an archaeologist at Oxford, had used it in his book on the Vikings of the Irish Sea. And then another coin like it appeared in eBay. So suspicions were arisen, and the coin was checked for its metal contact by, there's a group at Harwell in Oxfordshire, do this called a technique known as electron probe microwave analysis, where you fire high energy electrons at the metal, and then you measure the spectrum of X-rays which are given off. And the spectrum depends on the various metals that are present. Now, that analysis, which costs about 50p to do, showed that this coin was sterling silver. That's mostly silver with a bit of copper. Now, it can't be anything older than, it's a fake, than the 19th century, because if it had been from the Viking Age, it would have had lots of impurities like lead, bismuth, all this sort of stuff. It was a fake, but a very brilliant fake. I mean, some guy must have taken ages to produce this sort of stuff. But we were fooled, and David and myself, all we could do was have a chuckle about it. So this is a matter of course now. These finds should be checked to see if they are genuine. The analysis is quite simple, and well, not simple, but it's quite cheap to do by the experts.